Okay, it looks like I'm live. I'm going to give people just a minute to come back. And hopefully the quality is better. It looks better. It looks a lot better on my end. So I hope that is the same for you. Let me know. Just going to give people a minute to join. If you're on live, say hello. Let me know if the tech is better. I have a gnat following me today, and it's followed me for like an hour. Okay, it wants to join this live. Okay, just gonna give it a minute here to get everybody back in. Make sure you can see me okay. All right, it looks much better on my end, but let me know if you're here. Say hello, and we will get started. Oh my gosh, this guy has now attacked me. I don't like to kill things. Please go away. Okay, I'm gonna give it just another minute here to let people come back in and join because we had several people before. If you're live, say hi. Let me know that you're here because I actually think I need to make sure that this is working. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. All right, so Allison, I see you. Okay. All right, hi again. Yes, hello. Hopefully the tech is better. Let me know if there's a problem. Okay, good. Now I'm seeing everybody back on. Working better. Awesome. Thank you. There's always a delay. That's what I was trying to avoid, but I think a delay is better than bad technology. And Debbie, hello, Debbie. Welcome. Good to see you, my dear. Hi, Renee. Awesome. I love seeing everybody here. Okay. So I deleted my the first video because it was just sort of a mess. So we will start over. Welcome to today's Wednesday live. I have been loving doing this, these weekly lives with you guys. So I'm going to keep continuing to do that. I hope they work for you. I hope that you make a point to come in and watch the replay if you can't join live. And if you have a recommended, I'm sorry, you're going to see me swatting at this gnat because it's been following me for like an hour and I'm just determined not to kill it. I apologize. Much better. Thank you, Siglinda. Hi, Renee. So today's topic is fall in love with marketing and advertising. And hi, Marty. And I am, as I said in the video that I deleted that wasn't working, I am considering making this a series, a topic with a series, because I think there's so much to talk about around marketing and advertising and the mindset around it and why we hate it, right? There's so many people that I even said in my promo for this live, like, I think people have a love-hate relationship with it, but a lot of people are just having a hate relationship with it. And that's okay, right? Like, honor where you are. But I think there are many different levels to it and many different reasons why people don't like it. Sometimes it's a visibility thing. That's not what we're going to talk about today. But I actually have, from my own experience, a point in time where something shifted for me around marketing. And that's actually what I want to share today. And like I said, there are so many different parts of marketing and advertising that we could talk about that I may come back in. So if this is a topic you'd like to hear more about, please let me know here in the comments or shoot me a private message. Or if there's another topic you'd like to see on Wednesdays, please let me know. I usually plan them out about a month in advance, but I'm also flexible. So if more people are interested in talking more about marketing and advertising, I don't have anything scheduled else for this month on marketing and advertising, but if that's something that people want, again, let me know and I can be flexible and change some things around. So I'm excited to talk about this. Courtney's comments have been cracking me up. Several of y'all have said, like, dude, I feel called out by this message, the message that I had posted in the group about this topic. So I actually want to start by just giving you an opportunity to take a minute, and this may also help me now that I'm thinking about it. This may help me with whether I do a series. This may help me with topics for the next version in the series. Put in the comments here. I don't normally do this. Y'all know I'm super into like being high vibe and like keeping it high, but I actually think that in many cases, we first have to start off with why we're annoyed, what we want to complain about, me, so that we can then, okay, I've said it, I've let it go, and now I'm going to move into opening my mind to hear something new that might change my perspective. So drop in the comments here, what's your least favorite thing about marketing and advertising and why? What does it bring up for you mindset wise? What is it? Like, what's going on with you? And it could just be what's going on with you this week, right? Like maybe you could write me a book about what you dislike about marketing and advertising. So cool. What's bothering you about it this week? Let's keep it that way if that helps you keep focused on like one or two things. But I'd love to know just what is the most upsetting part of it for you. And I know that's picking somebody's, messing with somebody because my throat is getting all wonky. You'll notice when I do these lives, a lot of times my voice gets a little funny or my nose gets really itchy. And that's just one of my ways that I've learned specifically in this group is how I know that something I've said has resonated with somebody. And sometimes when things resonate with people, it pisses them off first or it rubs them the wrong way. So, okay, I am just going to give people a minute to comment. Let me know, like, what do you not like? What is bothersome about marketing and advertising? I would love to know. And I might or might not address it today, but I definitely can address it another day. Hi, Melinda. Did I say hi to you already? Okay, so let me know your gripes. Let me know your complaints. What's going on with marketing and advertising? And as I said, what I'm going to specifically share today is a thought process, really, that happened with me. So there may be parts of this that you resonate with, parts of it that you don't. But I'm going to try to keep it focused on this one thing because I think this is one aspect of marketing and advertising that a lot of people have complaints with. And I also think it's the aspect of marketing and advertising that a lot of spiritual people have complaints with. A lot of heart-centered people have complaints with. A lot of really people in this group, people who I work with, mission-driven, heart-centered, purpose-driven, spiritual or conscious or woo or whatever you want to call it, entrepreneurs and creatives. I feel like people in this bucket, this is in many cases some of their beef with it. So let's see how I have to keep posting on social media, waiting for more people to see. Yep, totally. Right. And I think there's a lot of, that was Priyanka's comment. I think there's a lot of shoulds in the marketing and advertising world and not for no reason, right? Like it works. Some of it really works. But I'm a broken record with you have to learn how to run your business on your own terms. And that doesn't mean, recreate the wheel and make stuff up that somebody else has already done. It doesn't mean that. It means there are 90 million ways to advertise your services and to market yourself. And you have to pick the one or two or three that really deeply resonate with you, that showcase your skills, that allow you to move into advertising and marketing in a way that not only people will resonate more deeply with you, you can be more authentic in your delivery of that method. I love it. Allison, you've cracked me up all day and this moment is continuing. Allison says, stupid fucking marketing. I find all of it annoying. Having to deal with social media is annoying. Always having to come up with new content. I can't stand social media, but I'm forced to deal with it. These are off the top of my head issues, right? Priyanka's cheering you on, Allison. Yeah, dude, right? Yes. Okay, this is great because I'm already getting ideas. You guys are already giving me ideas for maybe for another live if I do a series here. So thank you. Keep the bitchin' coming, right? Again, like we're not going to stay in this space for too long, but I do think it's important to just like freaking voice what bothers you about something. So, okay, let me open up my notes because I actually made more detailed notes today than I normally do about this because I don't want to forget a detail about this little story. Okay, so actually, Allison, your point is a really good place to start, because I think, like many of us, right? I started this business and I was not, okay, now I can't see you guys. I was not particularly big on social media. In fact, today it's really funny to me how I get comments from people about my social media. If they follow my business page, or if they're in this group, if they're in my, business community, they'll say something like, "Oh, I've been seeing you on social media. You're posting a lot. I like your stuff. Thank you so much. This resonated with me, blah, blah, blah." I'll get that kind of feedback. And then I get my friends and family who are only on my personal page, and they're like, "How come you never post on Facebook? Like, I don't know what's going on with you." Right? So I too was not super, I have never been super into using social media. But I will say, the more that I live far away from my family and friends, and the more virtual I get in my life, the more I use it to keep up with people. But that's not what this is about. My point is, Allison, I was like you. I was not a fan of social media in general, right? Just in general. And so when I started this business, I really barely used social media. If you take my Facebook business page, it's called Laura Livingston Coaching, and you scroll down, you'll see that only about a year and a half ago did I really start using it for marketing. I did very sporadic posts. I mainly did it just to have a presence, kind of like a website. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it was not my way of being. And I mostly did in-person networking and word of mouth and, referrals. That's how I worked in my business for the first year and a half or so, 2 years maybe. In part because I flipping hated social media. I didn't agree with what it stood for, blah, blah. I could go on and on and on and read a book about what I didn't like about it. And it's probably all the things that you guys also don't like about it, right? But here I am now, years later, running my business primarily based on social media. So let me offer you this tidbit. Oh, and I also want to say, because who was it? Courtney said something like, if you get me to fall in love with marketing and advertising, then you have a magic wand. So I do want to offer, this is just one step in the right direction. If I can even change your opinion today, or if I can move you slightly along the continuum, if hate is on one end and love is on the other, maybe I can move you closer to neutral, right? Maybe I have a magic wand, we'll see. Maybe I don't, but maybe I can move you a little closer to neutral. So, and again, the more you are like me, the more this will work for you. For those of you who are different from me, there's lots of you who are different from me. Not everybody's the same. Maybe I need to come back in with a bunch of other marketing pieces on a different live. Okay, so I too hated social media in general. I didn't want to really contribute to that part of the world. And so I resisted for a long time. I want to read Siglinda's comment here. Keep them coming, guys, if you have gripes you want to share. Siglinda says, as an artist considered a public figure, showing my artwork is not enough. I am to show my private life, my private artistic processes, et cetera, et cetera. It's really like asking a stylist to show up for a live in their pajamas with their morning coffee without makeup. I'm voting for Bansky. Yeah, right? And I think so often we're told that we have to share, I don't know, like our deepest, darkest secret and Siglinda, like behind the scenes of your process, right? Like, and on the one hand, maybe you don't want to do it because there's a mindset piece around visibility, but on the other hand, like maybe you like your privacy and maybe you don't want to share that, right? And that's why you have to do marketing and advertising from a space of honoring who you are, honoring what your values are, and trusting that you can do it in your own way. You don't have to do it that way, right? And I like, and you did a great example this week or last week, Siglinda, when you created video. But I also like to take those opportunities and go, you know what? This is an opportunity for me to try something different and push myself out of my comfort zone. Let me test this and see if this is a comfort zone mindset issue, or if this is this not resonating with me, right? Like sometimes something feels like, ugh, and you can sort of hide behind my argument of, I want to run this business on my own damn terms, right? Don't hide behind that. Make sure that it's an aligned decision rather than, I just don't want to jump out of my comfort zone. But I agree with you, Siglinda. I think there's a lot of shoulds out there around sharing certain parts of your life, of your process, of your business that you may or may not want to. Okay. So, the other thing that I did when I first started my business, and I know I'm not the only one, is I completely judged people who marketed themselves online. I'm really sorry. I take it all back. Look at me now, right? Never say never. But I really did. I judged the people who were marketing themselves online. I felt like they were trying to get attention, or I'm an empath, right? So I could pick up on the lack of alignment when they were doing the should, right? When they would put a post out that was clearly written and had like oozing of energy of like, I'm just doing this because I'm told I'm supposed to. It doesn't feel right to me, but I'm just doing this because I'm told I'm supposed to. The empath and the intuitive in me could pick up on that energy. And I actually don't like that energy just as much as I don't like, annoying, sleazy, grimy, salesy energy, right? It's all wonky energy. It sort of doesn't matter like what category it fits into. So I was judging people. I feel terrible for that now. And one of the greatest things about me, maybe, one of my gifts is that I typically am pretty darn non-judgmental. I don't think any human is completely non-judgmental, but that is usually not the first thing that I lean towards. And I think that's one of my gifts because I can see and try to understand things in a different way when oftentimes other people would make a quick snap judgment. It's not typically my way, but whoo, man, I judged big time. And then I judged myself for judging, right? And even as I was saying this to you, I was judging myself for judging, but I did. So the other thing that I used to think about really any marketing, if I'm honest, it's hard to remember back this long, but I remember thinking that like anybody who was marketing and advertising, even big companies, either was sleazy and slimy, they just did it for the money. It wasn't legit. It wasn't real. It wasn't authentic, right? It was just sleazy and slimy. It was just for the money. Or because they had to, because they weren't successful enough yet. So they were still marketing, right? And I kept saying to myself, like, when I get X number of dollars, when I get this level of client load, when I get XYZ, right? Like all the, like, when this happens to me in the future, fill in the blank, these things that we're waiting for to be happy. But I used to tell myself, like, when I get to that point, I won't have to market and advertise. Right? I used to think that marketing and advertising, and how many of you right now are like, well, yeah, I'm only going to do this as long as I have to. I won't have to market or advertise. You only do it because your clients you're not fully booked. I know a lot of people, by the way, guys, that are fully booked and are still marketing themselves. Okay, we're going to get to this. So I'm going to come back to you real quick and see if that resonates with you. How many of you are like, yep, the minute I don't have to market and advertise is I'm going to stop doing it. And that's not to say, I actually know several people who do not do marketing and advertising. They did to get their business to a certain point, and then they pretty much stopped. In many cases, because they're still solopreneurs and they have such a full client load that they really don't have time. But they also just, on the one hand, they're highly spiritual, highly energetic, highly magical people, and they figure out a way to sort of do some cosmic marketing and pull people in. But it just is not something that they do, or that they have to do, or that they decide to do, is maybe a better way to say it. I do know people that do that and that sort of work in the dark, so to speak. It can be done. But all of those people that I know, and there's just a few that fit in that group, they were visible before they went invisible. They were out there, right? They were out there building their practice. So I don't usually like to say this, but it is a little bit of a have to, right? Like I don't know people that just don't have to. Maybe there are people that just don't advertise or don't have to at any point in their career, in their business. Most people have to, right? Because, you know, it's like the, what's the lighthouse metaphor, right? Like if a lighthouse is on the edge of the cliff, how do the boats know they're there if they don't turn the light on and like spin the beam around, right? That's what marketing and advertising is. Hey guys, I'm right here. This is me. This is what I do. This is what I'm about. That's really all it is. Right? It's just turning on your light so that people can see you. It doesn't need to be sleazy, slimy. It doesn't need to be, you know, used car salesman. It doesn't need to be all those things. But that's how I've been looking at it for most of my life. Hi, Alice. Alice says she'll come back and catch the replay. Marty's laughing. Glinda says, yes, I did try it. And now the reactions to the reel were so positive. Now I need to figure out how to make peace with things like that and do it more often. Or yeah, find a way that you can do it. If you do it, it feels good to you, right? And Priyanka says me. Yep. Okay, so let me go back. I wanted to say one other thing. Yeah, so I thought that advertising was something that you had to do. And so therefore, once you're making millions of dollars or however many dollars, I'm not gonna advertise, right? That's sort of the planet that I used to live on. I don't feel that way anymore. So here's my little story. This is sort of a silly story, but it's a real story. It really did shift my brain, and hopefully there's something in here for you. So I don't know how many of you are familiar. If you're new to meditating, I highly, highly, highly recommend Deepak Chopra and Oprah got together and created I think they call it a meditation challenge. But they have all different series of meditation challenges, and it's a 21-day meditation where each day they record a meditation, and it has a theme to it. It's really beautiful. I think his style is a really great way for beginner meditators. There are a million different styles, but I think his style is a really good one that works really well with a lot of beginners. And I had just come out of hypnotherapy training, and I was starting this business, which began as a hypnotherapy practice, actually, not a coaching business. And I really wanted to learn more about the different meditation styles so that I could understand how to help my clients learn how to meditate. And so I started using his program. And in order to sign up for his program, what did I do? I had to enter my email address, right? And I had to, so I entered my email address. I don't know if I got his free thing or his paid thing. I think his things are usually $40, by the way. And then I got an email. I don't know, maybe I got an email once a day with the link, you know, but it's all in an app, and I got the stuff, and okay. And then I finished the program, and I was like, that was cool. Okay, I like this meditation style. I've incorporated it now into my personal meditation practice for years. It's not the only style I use, but I really like it. It's something I use fairly regularly, come back to on a regular basis. And then I was on his email list, right? Y'all, okay, this is not I do love Deepak Chopra and Oprah, but this is not about them. This is about me, okay? And the reason I'm choosing to tell this story as it actually happened is also because I think he is a great example of someone who is highly successful financially, very well known, and spiritual, deeply spiritual, right? What he does and what he teaches is spiritual. It's about living a mindful life is mainly what he teaches, if you don't know who he is. And I think that this is really important aspect to the story, because so many of us want to say, right, and this is a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day, but if there's a part of you that still believes that spiritual people or spiritually inclined businesses, or even businesses that offer spiritual services, aren't supposed to charge, or aren't supposed to charge much, or aren't supposed to profit, or aren't supposed to advertise because money and spirituality. Money's bad and spirituality is good, right? Like if there's any part of you that still believes that, that's a topic for another day. But I think that also, we're kind of hitting it. It's like a bonus. We're kind of hitting at that nerve too, because that's also not true. But I think he's a great example of somebody who has wealth and prestige and is famous and well known, and is really beautifully serving humanity with his message and his spirituality and what he's putting out to the world, right? Whether you like him or not, doesn't matter. He's an example, okay? So I signed up for his thing. I loved his meditation. And then, because I was finished with his meditation process, I got really annoyed with him. So I was following him on Facebook. He does Facebook Lives fairly regularly. I was on his email list. I think that's all, but that was freaking enough. I got so annoyed with him. I'm so sorry, Deepak, but I got so annoyed with you because he sent me, I don't know how many flippin' emails, you guys. So many emails. It was too much. It was too much for me. It was way too much for me. And I had to take a minute and go, am I going to unsubscribe from this dude who I really like? Usually I unsubscribe from people who I don't remember who they are anymore or who they bother me. He doesn't bother me. I send people all the time. In fact, he should be sending me a finder's fee because I send people all the time to his beginner meditations. And I unfollowed him. And that's okay. I still benefited from his stuff. I still know how to find him on Facebook when I want to listen to something that he has to say, but I didn't receive, I opted to, what do you do? What's it called on Facebook? When you unsubscribe, I opted to unsubscribe from the Facebook stuff too, right? Okay. So then one day, and I was laughing like, oh my God, this amazing spiritual man sends too many emails. What's wrong? Right. So first off, I want to just say there are people that love that they receive a daily email from him or 3 times a day email. I don't know how often it was. It was way too much for me. There are people that are waiting every day for the Deepak email. Okay. So number one, I have to just get over myself and say, Deepak is putting out the marketing that he wants to put out that feels good to him, that feels aligned to him. And he probably has a massive team. So he's got support there. So he's able to get all these messages out. And I guarantee you he's got a massive email list of people that are actually reading his stuff or reading a third of what he puts out, right? That are not at all annoyed by the volume of what he's putting out because they want to absorb the hell out of his stuff, right? So that's number one. But one of the things that I realized when I was going through that experience is, again, I was judging him, right? And I was like, I just don't understand, dude. Like, you don't need to advertise. You don't need to be sending me all these emails. Like I don't know how much money that man has. And maybe for all we know, he's giving it away, but he makes a ton of money. Like this was an Oprah Deepak collaboration. Like no idea how much money that is making, right? Why is he still advertising this? And A, why is he still advertising? This is me back in the day. A, why is he still advertising? And B, why is he advertising this much? Like, geez Louise, I want to know what his advertising spend is. And does it really get him the results? Okay, maybe not. That's really not the point of today's message. But I want to know, is anybody else in my bucket? I'm seeing comments, but I'm not seeing comments. Is anybody else sort of in that space that I was in of like, why is this man advertising so much? Is it just because he thinks he has to? Like he hired a team and that's what businesses do. And so the people in his business that are specialized in marketing and sales and advertising, those people are just doing their job. And it's really not about, him, and he's not directing. Is that why he's emailing me all the time? But then I was like, okay, but why is he on Facebook? He is doing actual Facebook Lives all the time, or at least he was back then. All the time. Why is he doing Facebook Lives? Why would he waste his time doing Facebook Live? He doesn't need any more money. He doesn't need any more followers, right? He has all these books. He's been on TV. Let me know if this is resonating, you guys. He's got all these books. He's been on TV. He's so well known. Like, if people want something from him, they're just going to naturally come find him. They don't need him to be reaching out to them, right? This is all me back then. They don't need him to do that. And so why is he doing that? Why is he wasting his time? Does anybody know why? Does anybody know why? Like, clearly he's not doing it for the reasons that I thought he was doing it. He's not doing it because he thinks he should. Pretty sure. He's a pretty aligned man, right? He's not doing it because somebody told him he should. He's not doing it because he could outsource it and not have to deal with it, right? There's so many times where I find people, yes, hire an expert, but don't do it so that you can just run away and hide from it, right? So he's not doing it because he needs the money. He's not doing it because he's supposed to, or somebody's hopefully resonating with this because my nose is itching in. He's not doing it because he's supposed to. He's not farming it out because he doesn't like it, most likely. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. He doesn't have to. He could stop working now forever and still keep making money off the residual, right? He's not working for money anymore. And if he walks his talk and he really is the person he seems to be, he's not doing it for the fame and the recognition either, right? So why is he doing it? There's two reasons, and they go together. Let me just make sure there's nothing else I wanted to say before I get to my ta-da part of it. Yeah. Okay. Here's why he's doing it. My guess, right? He and I are not best friends. I don't really know. Here's why he's doing it. Because he has chosen to use his career to be in service to the world. He's being of service. He's being of service. And then that's number one. And then number two, this goes right hand in hand with it. Why is Deepak Chopra on flipping Facebook? Like, ugh, right? The part of me that hates social media and loves spirituality cannot, the old part of me cannot reconcile the two, right? Like, that's blasphemous. Because social media is a free, unless you're doing ads, even then, affordable way to get your message out into the world. He is able to reach so many people using social media with his Facebook Lives, with his daily or thrice daily emails that annoyed me but serve many people. He's able to get his message out. He's not working anymore to sell books, to make money, to pay for his kids' college, for retirement, like to buy 75 houses. He's not working for that reason, I guarantee you. He's doing it because he has a purpose. He has a gift, and he wants to share what he knows and what he's learned about living a mindful life with the world. And he wants to reach as many people as he can to impact the world in the way that only he can, because some people will never shift unless they hear it a certain way. And he has a certain way of communicating, and he's not for everyone and doesn't try to be for everyone, but he is of service. And that's why he sends 900 emails a day. And that's why he's on Facebook Live. And that's why he invests in advertising, because his purpose is to be of service to the world in his way. His purpose is to get his message out to everyone. His purpose is not to make sure that as many people as possible buy his $40 meditation thing. That's not his purpose. His purpose is to be of service. His purpose is to get his message out. So where can you take this for yourself and your business? Because all of you are heart-centered. All of you are of service. And I know that the reason that you started your business is to be of service, is to live in your purpose, is to put your unique gifts out into the world, right? And I feel like there's really usually two big reasons, and hopefully you have both of these in your business. One is I want to see this change in the world. There's something that you want to see different in the world. And so there's a thing that you want to put out, or a way that you want to help, or a way that you want to change because you see the world and you want to make a change. You want to be part of making a change in a specific way. Okay, so that's probably one reason you started your business. And hopefully the other reason is because when you work in this space and you affect the world in your own unique way, you feel fulfilled. You get something out of it, right? So I'm going to use Courtney as an example. I don't even think she's live on here yet, but she makes jewelry, right? I guarantee you that she does it for two reasons. One, because her creative side is fulfilled by the actual making of the jewelry. And then two, she loves to be able to help people have jewelry that really deeply resonates with them. Both. That's what he's doing. That's all he's doing with his marketing and advertising. And that's all you have to do with your marketing and advertising. Is get your message out there and be of service. And then, yes, you need to make money. And yes, that gets you there. But the best marketing and advertising I've seen is the kind of marketing and advertising that is of service first. That's it. So when you're jacked up in your head around marketing and advertising and you can't sit down to write a post, here's my other, and this is, wait, let me just check and make sure there's nothing else I wanted to say about this. Let me know, you guys, how this is. Everybody's quiet now. I've seen no comments. Let me know if this is resonating at all with you. If I'm blowing your mind or if I'm boring you. Let me just see real quick. Yeah. Okay. So this is a little bit of a morbid example, but I think the point hopefully is taken. Let's pretend for a minute that you knew somebody came in and told you, like, okay, you're going to die in like 48 hours, right? And you can spend all the time in the world with your friends, with your family, doing whatever you want. You can magically teleport to somewhere. If there's a place you want to spend your final hours, whatever. Like, you can do everything you want to do, but you must spend 1 hour closing out your business. You must spend 1 hour on your business in your final hours. What would you do? What would you tell your followers? What would you tell your clients? That's your social media post. Like, what's your message? Right? You're never going to make money out of it because you're dying. What's your message? How are you being of service to your followers? And so many people that follow you will never, ever, ever buy from you. What's your message? What do you want to say to them? And thank God you have social media, because you can quickly type a little something and it'll go out to the whole world if you want it to, or to just your Facebook group, or to just your, clients or whatever, right? That's what Deepak is doing with his marketing and advertising. Every day. Every day. He's putting his message out there. If something happens to me tomorrow, I know that I put my message out there over and over and over again, in different ways, in different aspects, and different modalities, some with video, some with audio, some in a TV series, right? And different topics, but all for the same purpose, all of the same service, all with the theme of what his message is and what he's trying to accomplish and what he's trying to change in the world. So can you look at marketing and advertising in that way? Like, can you look at it as, I don't know, I mean, this just came to me, but like, can you look at it as the book that you are writing, right? Some people will never write a book. But when you write a book, you write it to get your message out. Yeah, okay, great, awesome, you make money too. But you write it to get your message out. So can you look at it in that way? What are your messages? What do you want to let people know? What is your unique knowledge or gift or Courtney product, Sieglinde art product that you want to share with the world? Share it with them. Let them see Sieglinde, let them see your art. Courtney, let them see the jewelry that they can purchase from you. Allison, let them know what you know about how a soul evolves over time and the kinds of things that we're here to learn. Which, by the way, I think you all do a very good job of that. Right? So Priyanka, like, help people learn better about how dance can serve their body, their mind, their soul, their mental health, right? That's all. I mean, I'm acting like this is magical. What did Courtney say? Magic one, but like, it's really very simple. But it's just like most things in life, like it's clouded and jaded and wrapped up and messied by judgments, by the things that the way that we think that things are supposed to be, by our mindset, by the way that we don't want to be visible, right? If you don't want to be visible, then you can't get your message out there because nobody's going to see it or hear it. Turn your light on, be a lighthouse. It's okay to be a lighthouse, right? If a lighthouse isn't shining its light, then it's not actually being a lighthouse. It's like there's a name, you know, for like buildings that used to be like, this used to be a post office and now it's an office building, right? Like it's no longer serving as a lighthouse if it doesn't have a light on. Now it's like a closed, no longer functioning, there's a word for that building, right? If you're a lighthouse, be a lighthouse. Get your light out there, get your message out there. That's all it is. Like we overcomplicate it. It's just getting, what is it that for me, it's, I want to help people learn how to run their business on their own terms. I want to help people in what I'm doing right now, think differently about the parts of business they don't like so that they can get their messages out there, so that they can change the world in their own unique way. Because for me, I spent years doing a job that I was meant to do in that moment. I wouldn't take it back. But I was only academically and intellectually challenged and fulfilled by it. And my heart and soul was lagging behind in fulfillment. And I didn't believe that as a single woman in this society, that if I left this really smart, stable corporate career, that I would be able to financially support myself, or that I would be able to find something fulfilling that was also financially stable. And so I stayed in that career for a really long time, or longer than I wish that I did, because I didn't believe that I could have what I wanted. And I didn't believe, nobody had taught me, just like many of you who are somewhat near my age, we weren't taught that we could do what we wanted to. We were taught, well, there's math and science and art and history, and you can go do one of those things and then you go find a job, right? Nobody told me I could do what I wanted to do. And also I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. And so for me to have evolved into this phase in my life where I'm doing work that serves my soul, but I know I'm here to serve the planet with, it's important to me, my mission, my vision, my why, and my messaging is, how can I help other people who are doing this work? Some of you never had to go through the pain that I had to go through to do jobs that you hated to find a job that you loved, right? It doesn't matter. I'm working with people who are doing jobs they love so that I can help them keep those jobs that they love and reach out and get their messages out to all the people that are waiting for your message, that are waiting to be able to work with you or to buy your art or to buy your jewelry or to take your Bollywood dance classes, right? That's why I'm here. And that's why I'm on this Facebook Live, not to look at myself like I'm talking in the mirror, which is so weird, right? But I'm here because my message is important. I believe in what I'm sharing. And I want to try to help you shift your mindset around the ways that you're getting in your own way so that you can turn that lighthouse light on. My nose is itching again. So that you can turn that lighthouse light on, so that you can bring in the clients that are meant to work with you, so that you can get your special message out into the world, which means then the world is going to change. So that's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing. That's why I advertise. And if you read my posts, they are intended, usually, hopefully, you read them as being of service. Yes, I'm also sometimes selling stuff. But it's all a cohesive, somewhat, because I have lots of things I want to share, but it's all a message about how to get out there and run your business in the best way that you can, so that you can affect the world in the way that you're meant to. And get out of your flipping way, right? That's why I do it. That's what my marketing and advertising is. And so can you find a way to dial back more into your service? Because I know that, Sieglinde, when you're creating your art, Courtney, when you're making your jewelry, Allison, when you're one-on-one with a client, like, you are in your heart, you are in your purpose, you are like so in your mission and in your being of service. Take that out into your marketing and advertising. Take the questions and the conversations that people ask you when you have to educate them about your work or about your craft or about your expertise. There's like 19 social media posts right there. And half the time I create, at least my lives, well, no, my posts too, I create them out of themes that I'm seeing in my clients that week, or repetitive conversations that I've had where I'm like, okay, this is something that I can educate multiple people about at once. So that's for me what this Facebook Live is. That's what for me what this Facebook group is. It's an opportunity for me to share my message with a large number of people all at once, instead of just doing it quietly in the privacy of my own home, one-on-one with people, right? Okay, I have not read comments in a while. Let me go back to them. Oh, let me see if I can scroll. Okay, ooh, I missed a lot of comments. Okay. Sieglinde says, a new ambition. I want those magical cosmic marketing powers. Yeah. Yeah, I do a little bit of that. I teach a little bit of that. Maybe that's something that we need to do in another workshop. And Priyanka says, me too. Okay, Allison says, I can't stand the constant emails. It drives me nuts and will unsubscribe. I send out only 1 to 2 emails per month to my subscribers, right? But like, there are people, Allison, that probably wish you would send more. Guaranteed, because they wait for your emails. There are people that wait for your emails. And this isn't to say that you should send more. You have to do what feels comfortable to you, right? If once or twice a week, once or twice a month makes sense for you, you got to run your business on your own terms, right? Sieglinde says, I have no interest sharing my art. I love sharing my art. It's the inner private stuff. I want to put my foot down, and then I get told, well, would you like more followers? Would you like more sales? Right? And Allison says, I agree. I don't want to share private stuff either, right? And then the answer is, you get to decide. Don't let anybody tell you that that's the only way to do it. Don't do it because it's out of your comfort zone, or don't not do it because it's out of your comfort zone, or don't not do it because you got a mindset thing around that. That's the piece that you've got to like true up and make sure about. But then don't let anybody tell you how to run your business. Do it yourself. Not do it yourself. Do it in a way that feels right to you. Do it in a way that feels right to you. Okay. Let me know what else you guys have. I want to know how this is resonating. I want to know what you're feeling about your message and about you being of service. And if there's a way that you can infuse a little bit more of that mindset, right? You may already be of service in your marketing, but can you shift your mindset a little bit into, instead of, fuck, I have to write this, to be like, well, what do I want to let people know today? Right? What do I want to let people know? And think about it at, like, in your head, think about, you know, either a group of your clients or people that you know are following you that really like what you have to say. Like, just think about it for them. Like, what is it that you want to let that, like, 3 to 5 to 10 to 20 people know? And then great if it resonates with everybody else. Sometimes we get overwhelmed by feeling like, well, I've got this like big email list, or I need a big email list, and like, who am I speaking to? And like, let it be, or even 1 or 2 people. Like I said, so often my posts will come out of one conversation with a client. And I'll be like, this is something that other people could learn from, or themes of conversations that I've had with clients or other people. So let me know where you're sitting before we close. Is there a way for you to shift your mindset a little bit more into being of service? And again, it's not that it's not to say, this isn't about whether your posts are of service. This is about whether your mindset hates advertising because you actually feel like it's antithetical to the way that you're wanting to run your business, when in fact it actually serves your mission beautifully and helps you be of service. Like, can you look at it as a partner instead of a curse? Okay, let me know where you're sitting. I'm gonna hold still for a minute because there's still several of you on and I'm not seeing any comments. Let me know if there's still something left that you want some coaching around. Like I said, I know there's lots of other issues with social media and with marketing and with advertising, and I'm happy to come back in and talk about those, but I want to know if this feels good to you, if you have questions, or if you're still stuck on something. Allison says, makes a lot of sense. Thanks, love. I hope that was helpful. Give it just another minute for questions, comments, coaching that you want. And while that's happening, let's see if I can read this far. Oh, next week's reading, next Wednesday, is when a potential client says no. When a potential client says no. So we're going to be talking about what it's like to get a no, how to reframe your mindset around that, how to feel into that. Because so often a no is not a no. So often a yes is a no. So often a maybe is a yes. And so often the maybe is a no. And so I just really, I have, having as many discovery calls as I had during Evolve, and also just this year, I've had a lot of discovery calls this year, and I've had some really interesting conversations. And even just, I mean, sometimes part of my discovery calls are helping people make a decision, right? Like that's a challenge in itself of something that they're working on. And so sometimes the discovery call is just coaching around how they can make a good decision for themselves, whether they work with me or not. And it occurred to me recently that I've worked with several different business coaches over the years, and at some point in time, I've told them all no. Every single one of them, whether I moved on from working with one to another, or whether I said no to them first and then later came back and worked with them, I've told every single business coach I've ever worked with, I've told them no at least once. And so it just sort of sparked, I've got so much to say about that. So again, back to me being of service and me feeling like I have something that hopefully will resonate and help you. That's next week's call, or next week's live on Wednesday. So when a potential client says no, that's next week. Allison says super helpful. Great, great, great. I hope that helps. For those of you who are watching the replay, I've been talking to Courtney a lot, even though I know she's not here, but I know she was going to watch. Anybody who's watching the replay, please let me know if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have other topics around marketing and advertising that you'd like me to speak to, other topics around running a business that you'd like me to speak to on these Wednesday lives. I am open to feedback and topics. And let me know if you have any other coaching that you'd like around today's topic with marketing and advertising and being of service. Okay. All right. Happy Wednesday. I love coming in here and seeing you guys. Thank you. This is fulfilling for me as well. I really, really love this community. Thank you for all of your support of me and of each other. It's been really beautiful to see so many of you replying. I mean, here today, replying on each other's comments, supporting each other and commenting and like checking out people's freebies on Tuesdays and promos on Fridays. And I love, love, love this group so much. If you know people that you think would benefit from this group, please invite them to join us. And I will see you next Wednesday. Bye, guys.